Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about finding lateral area and total area of a pyramid. So, as we said earlier, lateral area does not include the base. So it's only the area of the faces around the outside of the figure. So for example, this pyramid, we're only looking at the front, back, right, and left outer triangles of this pyramid for lateral area. So the area of one lateral face is equal to 1/2 times the side of the pyramid base, that would be here, times the slant height, that's going to be here. Okay, now we don't know the slant height yet. And then if you look, the lateral area of the entire pyramid is going to be equal to 1/2 times the perimeter of the base, which of course is the distance around the outside, times the slant height. So for this one, we would want to start by finding your perimeter and your slant height to figure out what your lateral area is. So your perimeter, if you look at your base, you've got a square with side lengths of 6. So 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, there's 4 of them. Your perimeter for this one is going to equal 24. Okay. Now we also want to find our slant height. So if you look at your figure, the altitude is coming down from the middle, the top of the pyramid. So that means that this part of your triangle, the bottom part, is going to equal exactly half the length of the square. So if this has a distance of 6, then this part would only be half of that. So it would be 3. Okay, so if we have a right triangle here, since it's an altitude, it creates a right angle. So we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the missing length of this hypotenuse. So we can do 5 squared plus 3 squared, and I'm going to write that down here. And that's going to give us the length of our hypotenuse squared. So I'm going to put h squared. All right, so that's 25 plus 9. And that, of course, is 34. And if we take the square root of both sides, that tells us that our slant height, which I called h, but I probably should have called it L, is equal to the square root of 34. Now that happens to be a radical that cannot be reduced, since 34 only has factors of 17 and 2, and those are prime. So when we express the slant height L, we're going to say that our slant height is equal to the square root of 34. So for our lateral area of this pyramid, it's going to be equal to 1/2 times P times L. Okay, and of course that is 12 square root 34. Okay, now notice for total area, the only thing we're missing is that area of the base. It's still 1/2 times P times L, which we just found, but now we're going to add the area of our base. So if our base is a square, we do length times width, 6 times 6. That's going to give us 36. So for our total area of this pyramid, if we were wanting to find it, it would be the lateral area, which is the 12 root 34 plus 36. And of course, remember, addition is cumulative, which means it doesn't matter what order we add it in, as long as we're adding the same two things together. Okay, so for my total area, this is how I would find it. Good luck.